It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast on this 19th day of May 2025. What happened here? Did I not go on? I'm not showing in that screen. If anybody in the chat room, am I on the air? I can't tell. Yeah, I'm showing 40 seconds on the air. Apparently I'm on the air. So anyway, I will continue on and just wonder why that is not on my side monitor. Strange. Anyway. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. I'm just totally confused here with what's going on. All right. Welcome to today's show, folks. Of course, it's coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia. Brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scooter Round, and by Chillie's Cruises. Again, not a great deal of news this morning, but several stories. The top story today is the potential measles exposure. Also this morning, a man charged for climbing ship. Disney guests warned of delays. MSC orders 2 more world-class ships. A 2-year-old dies on a Costa ship. And a Celestal ship scrapped. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. All right, if you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome here. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. Today, folks, is National Devil's Food Day. So, I like devil's food cake. I mean, who doesn't? All right, let me jump over here. Let's jump in the chat room. Some people are here. Guys, am I live and can you hear me? Good morning, Chillie and everyone. That's from Mike, Gary Older Than Dirt. Katie's with us. Hot Air Tom's here. Kenneth's with us. Williams is here. Yes, you are on the air. Thank you, Mike. All right. I just wanted to make sure because something told me something went wrong and I'm not entirely sure where. All right. We got a few things to cover here this morning before we get started. So, wow, the throat's cracking up on me. Where was I? Oh, yeah. This day in history. In 1884, excuse me, I haven't done that all morning. A little sip of Diet Coke. All right, this day in history, in 1884, the Ringling Brothers staged their first circus. And in that performance, a performer by the name of Hot Air Tom dove from the top of the tent down to a swimming pool in flames on the floor of the tent. And he became the first star of Ringling Brothers Barnum Bailey Circus. And if you believe that one, I got some land in Florida. I'd love to sell you. Okay, so that wasn't true, folks. I mean, the Ringling Brothers Circus was true. Hot Air Tom had nothing to do with that. Okay, so let's get started in a rather orderly fashion. I'll be back with a whole bunch of stuff after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. Okay, guys, so now we're going to get started this morning, perhaps in a little different fashion. Perhaps. You never can tell. This is my friend Bethany Bartley down in Tampa. Bethany came up with one of those lovely last-minute deals on an Alaska cruise, threw some clothes in a suitcase, and headed to the airport in Tampa. From Tampa, she flew to O'Hare Airport in Chicago, changed planes, and flew to Ted Stevens Airport in Anchorage, Alaska. I messaged Bethany that my favorite restaurant in Anchorage was Glacier Brew House. She discovered it was only a 10-minute walk from her hotel and decided to go there for dinner Saturday evening. Once there, she ordered a flat of beer and an order of fish and chips. On Sunday, she took the Holland America bus transfer to Whittier and boarded Holland America's Noordam for a cruise to Vancouver. We'll be following Bethany on her cruise to Vancouver. If you're interested in a last-minute cruise to Alaska, give me a call, 434-258-9264. All right, so twice. While it's not my favorite ship in Holland American Line, it's a perfect size ship for me. I like smaller ships. I like the Noordam a lot. The food was great. The entertainment was great. All of their side things with the experts was fabulous. I enjoyed the Noordam both times that I've been on it. So I hope Bethany has a good time. She, of course, is a Florida girl. She doesn't like cold weather, and she's in Alaska. So that's always problematic. But anyway, we're going to follow her through the week this week. All right, let's see what else we got. We got a bunch of other stuff going on today as well. We missed Bonnie's birthday. Happy birthday a day or two late to Bonnie. Bonnie had one hell of a time getting home from Alaska. I'm not even going to attempt to go through what all happened to her because I'd screw it up. But needless to say, it was one of the absolute worst traveling experiences I've ever heard of. I mean, just awful. It was awful on her. It was awful on those of us that were trying to find out where she was. And, it was terrible. Just terrible. Meantime, I ran into my buddy Fraser from Scotland, and he finally talked his mom into going on a cruise with him. So we took her on a cruise around the British Isles on a Olsen cruise. So that's Fraser and his mom in Liverpool. And then Cindy and the girls are, let's go, girls. It's time for the girls to cruise again. And so they got on the new, or what was the newest, it's now not longer going to be the newest, Margaritaville at Sea ship out of Tampa. What's that? That's not girls in the background there. Dude. Cindy, what's happening? And of course, it's Cindy's hubby in the background. Let's see what else we have here. That's we got this. They went to Cozumel, and Nick's hanging right with the girls. As a matter of fact, in Cozumel, they went to Senior Frogs. I've been there numerous times, and that's Nick with one of the Senior Frogs cocktails. Nice butt, Cindy. Even nicer butt, Nick. So Nick's with the girls. I can't wait to hear how this happened. But anyway, they're on the Margaritaville at sea uh, ship out of Tampa. I have not been on that one yet. I'm looking forward to a chance of getting on there. I had a report back from, as a matter of fact, it was Fraser. Fraser at sea uh, went on the ship and loved it and loved the food and was very happy with it. My only problem with the older ship from when I sailed on it a couple years ago was it was terrible for accessibility issues. The crew itself, this cruise, the vibe, the everything, I loved it, but it was horrible for accessibility. I'm hoping they're learning their lessons and they've gotten better with it. Okay, so that takes care of some of the fun things for today. So let's get down here to the first actual news story, the real news story today.
Travelers have been warned of a potential measles exposure at Newark Airport. Newark has been experiencing consistent flight disruptions going back to last month amid ongoing air traffic control equipment failures. However, during the weekend, the New Jersey Department of Health identified an infected individual with measles who traveled through the airport's Terminal B on Monday, May the 12th, between 12:30 p.m. and 4 p.m. local time. Potentially exposed individuals, if infected, could develop symptoms as late as June the 2nd, officials said. As of the time of this release on May 15th, no additional associated cases in New Jersey have been identified. Officials remind travelers that the warning only impacts those who were in Terminal B during those 3.5 hours on Monday. What's more, individuals who have been vaccinated or have had measles in the past are unlikely to be affected. According to the Department of Health, measles symptoms include a high fever, cough, runny nose, watery red eyes, and a rash that usually appears between 3 and 5 days after symptoms begin. The saga continues. After making waves for attempting to climb a Carnival cruise ship in Sydney, Australia, we now have some idea of the fate that awaits the alleged perpetrator. The suspect, who has earned the nickname of Spider-Man on social media, was captured on video climbing the mooring lines of Carnival Adventure at Sydney's overseas passenger terminal on May the 17th. The dangerous stunt was eventually brought to a safe conclusion after New South Wales police officers coordinated with the crew on board to lower the mooring ropes toward a police boat, which is when the man was taken into custody. Footage from onlookers also captured the claimer, who has been identified as a 29-year-old man being led away in handcuffs by 4 officers. This is a correction from an earlier report which said the man was 30 years old. Following the incident, he was taken to the Day Street police station, which is only about a 12-minute drive from the cruise port. Per local news outlet news.com.au, he has since been given 3 charges related to unauthorized entry, including entering a cleared zone without being screened and cleared, entering a landside restricted zone without authorization, and entering a waterside restricted zone without authorization. He was then released on conditional bail, but will have to appear in court June 11th of this year. If he is found guilty, the man could face consequences like long-term house arrest, imprisonment, and/or hefty fines. While Carnival has not issued a statement on the matter, it's also quite likely that he will be banned from all future Carnival sailings and those of Carnival's sister brands, as the cruise line has no tolerance policy when it comes to matters of safety. And this springtime in Los Angeles has it all. Pleasant weather, fewer crowds, and plenty of exciting events and outdoor activities. Got a trip planned? We've extended our savings on scooter and wheelchair rentals in Anaheim, Los Angeles, and Disneyland until the end of May. Call Scootaround at 888-441-7575. Use SRN 11137 for the best rates. Disney Wish passengers who set sail to the Bahamas on May 16th were warned to expect delays at embarkation at Port Canaveral ahead of their weekend getaway. Guests received a warning that the cruise line was still dealing with a technical issue, that its online check-in that caused several delays just days before in both Fort Lauderdale and Port Canaveral. The result, all passengers needed to be checked in person at the Port Canaveral Cruise Terminal 10. Disney Cruise Line also made guests who arrived early wait outside until their designated check-in window opened to help smooth the process. Guests who did not complete online check-in or who did not receive an arrival time ahead of embarkation were instructed to arrive no sooner than 2 p.m. MSC Cruises today ordered 2 more LNG-powered 5,400 guest world-class vessels from Chillie d'Atlantique to complement the 4 already delivered or under construction. The 2 new orders, currently referred to as World Class 5 and World Class 6, will be delivered in 2029 and 2030, respectively. A 2-year-old boy tragically died aboard Costa, Toscana during a Mediterranean voyage, collapsing suddenly while playing on board. The tragedy occurred during the ship's voyage between Civitavecchia and Savona, Italy, as part of a 7-day Western Mediterranean itinerary. According to Italian newspaper La Stampa, the child was the son of a Chinese couple residing in France. The young boy had reportedly undergone surgery in the past, but had appeared healthy and energetic throughout the trip, giving his parents hope that their son's health was improving. That hope was shattered when the child suddenly collapsed. The boy's parents immediately called for help, and Costa Toscana's medical team responded immediately. The shipboard medical staff worked tirelessly for hours to resuscitate the child, but sadly, their efforts were unsuccessful. The ship continued on its course to the port of Savona, where the boy's parents stayed by his side through the night. Upon arrival, local authorities boarded the vessel to interview the ship's doctor, crew, passengers, and the grieving parents. Preliminary findings indicate the child died of natural causes, likely linking to his existing heart condition. The child's body will be repatriated to France. The devastating loss deeply affected not only the family, but also the crew and fellow passengers who witnessed the incident.
We found out subsequent to the story being written this morning that the child had been through open heart surgery initially.
It's the end of an era. After just about 42 years of service, the now retired Celestial Crystal is officially being scrapped. The 1,200 guest ship has arrived at the famous Alang shipbreaking yard in India and has been beached to begin the dismantling process, which can take several months to complete. Though the 25,611 gross ton vessel sailed under many names and brands over the course of her career, which first began in 1980. Her last real stint as a cruise ship was with Celestal Cruises.
Experience Alaska at an affordable rate. VR1 balconies are only $1,289, including taxes and port charges. MSC Poesia sails from Seattle, May 25th, 2026. Book now. Call 434-258-9264 or go to bit.ly/Poesia Alaska 1. All right, that puts an end to the news portion of today's show. I saw that Hot Air Tom asked if anyone saw the news that the captain of the Diamond Princess passed away. That came in literally as I was going on the air, and it happened overnight. It was announced to the passengers on the Diamond Princess. I believe they were in Saigon. I don't know, one of the Asian ports. And very sad situation for anybody that knew him, either from Diamond Princess or from Grand Princess that I was on last summer. Sad thing this morning. I'll have more information on that on Wednesday's show. All right, let's go over in the chat room and see who's with us today. Mike's here. Gary Older Than Dirt. Katie's with us. There's Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. Buenos Dias, Chillie and gang. Nice to see all your familiar faces. Going to be another hot one there today. Katie's asking Tom how he's feeling. He's been kind of puny too. Kenneth's with us. Good morning, Kenneth. William says, hello. How are you doing today? Doing great. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Hello, Sonny. Bob's with us. Good morning, gang. Happy Monday. Sonny says, Tom, are you feeling better? Sonny, yes, much better. Well, that's good, Tom. Glad to hear that. There's Roger. Good morning, Chillie. My daughter's husband has been diagnosed by Elon Musk's job removal program. They are coming from Myrtle Beach to Jacksonville. Job hunting will proceed in the area. Wow, sorry to hear that, Roger. And by the way, when Roger had sent a message about Galax on the show Friday afternoon, he had an in-law that passed away and was being buried in Galax. Galax is, of course, down in southwestern Virginia. It's about 2.5, 3 hours from me here, something like that. Elizabeth says, glad you're feeling better, Hot Air. Chillie, you're looking good too. I've actually felt much better. I got a little bit of a cold that came back after the sitting around in wet clothes day. And my cough picked up some this weekend. So I'm hoping to snuffle that out before it catches on really bad again. But yes, I'm feeling much better, a lot more energetic, a lot less fatigue. But it's still, I'm not doing too much too fast. Those of you that follow some of the stuff I do on my channel have noticed that there's been a lack of content regularly, at least a lack of a lot of content, which I should be doing now. I'll get back to it in time. But yeah, we're definitely much better. There's Amy. Hi, Amy. You're looking good, Chillie. Thank you very much. Roger says, Friday, you didn't know Galax, Virginia. It's just above North Carolina border, west of I-77. Oh, yeah, I knew Galax, Roger. I just didn't there were too many things going on. I know Galax well. I've been there many a times. I used to go down. I used to drive down there on the weekends for the Fiddlers Festival. Been known to do that. Yeah. So I have a cousin that lives up in Czech, and he was a mandolin player, and he used to go down to Galax and play a lot. So yes, I know Galax well. Todd's with us. Says good morning, everyone. My sister-in-law, Nikki's brother's widow, is in very bad shape with pancreatic cancer. She moved back to her hometown. Back to her hometown of Galax. Okay, I'm up to date on that one now. I was a little wrong on my facts. Elizabeth says, I missed Cindy yesterday. Sadly, found out an old shipmate of mine was on vacation in Playa del Carmen, who I hadn't seen in 20 years. Crazy coincidence. So I didn't get over to Cozumel. Sorry about that. What about the Mexican Navy tall ship hitting the Brooklyn Bridge? I'm wondering if it was caught in the current with its propulsion out. Okay, so my understanding of that, and I did look at it this morning because there were things about it that just flat didn't make sense to me. And here's what apparently happened. The ship had a power failure, and the power failure stopped their ability to turn. The swiftness of the water there sent the ship towards the bridge. Obviously, the ship was taller than the bridge. That's not the way the ship had to go to get out of there. It should have been 180 degrees from that. So I'm not sure who they're going to blame on this one, but it was a combination of a power failure on the ship, the currents, and the fact that it threw the ship in the wrong direction toward the Brooklyn Bridge as opposed to away from the Brooklyn Bridge. It was a mess. Of course, 2 people died. At first, there was 20 some injured, and I think they've dropped that down to 12 now. So yeah, it was not a good situation either, Tom. They had the Brooklyn Bridge closed for a couple hours. Anytime you close a bridge anywhere in New York, that screws everything up for days. So there's Gretchen out in Ohio. Tom, that's what I heard about the crash. Yeah. Much like Baltimore. Yeah, well, sort of. Baltimore, he was at least heading in the right direction. He just ran into the thing, and that was caused by probably a different kind of power failure. This one was really screwy. Really looks like Tom climbing up the ship. You know, Kenneth, I thought about that too. That looked like hot air Tom trying to skivvy up those ropes. Did anyone see the news about the captain? Yes, I saw the news about the captain. Hot air Tom says, I just checked cruise mapper, and it is docked in Taiwan. Okay, in Taiwan. I couldn't remember where it was. I mean, I saw it literally as I was going on the air. So, Kenneth says, hi, Sonny, how you doing? We're doing good. I'm already ready to go on a cruise. We're going in January out of Jacksonville on the Jim. Yeah, you're going in January, and Roger's going in October, I think, on the Jim, and I have not been on the Jim yet. So, yes, it's in my wheelhouse, folks. I'm making no promises yet. We'll see. So, All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, guys, smash that thumbs up button. That'll help us out a bunch. And of course, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. And hopefully, we'll all get together on one of these cruise ships, one of them, sometime, and get to sail together. All right, guys, that's it for today. Have a great Monday. I'll see everybody back here Wednesday if I don't see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.